did my job.
Okay.
I joined Antler.
Okay.
Antler's program is 3 months. I did it. They didn't invest in my startup. Entrepreneurship is hard.
Yeah.
I think it's like giving birth to a baby. You need to articulate a vision. You need to sell that vision to people.
Yeah.
And I think when you build that muscle of problem solving, it's going to be better for you as an entrepreneur. You need to apply to 500 jobs
To get
one job offer.
My goodness. 500 jobs to get one job offer.
500 jobs. Yeah. Right now, it takes more than 6 years for a graduate to get. Imagine that.
Looking for a job is a full-time job for me. I should not be laughing.
I went to American school, so I didn't learn about Kenyan history. First time I heard about some of the things that happened in Kenya's history.
Yeah.
And I went home and asked my mom, how did you guys let this happen?
Welcome to Manspeqtive Africa, your favorite show. I'm your host, Daniel Shodongo, aka the son of Kano. And today it is my absolute pleasure to host a gentleman who has a Hebrew name, but he's from Muranga. His name is Lemuel Abishua. How are you doing, my brother?
Good to see you, bro.
Welcome on set, man.
Thank you. I'm glad to finally be here.
Finally.
Mama, I made it. I made it to Manspeqtive. Now I can go, you know those resolutions you start at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
I can go tick.
Yeah.
I made it to Manspeqtive.
I like that. Introduce yourself, man. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm Lemuel Abishua.
Okay.
I'm a born-again Christian.
Okay.
I'm a founder. I'm a lawyer. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a friend.
And you're a Kenyan, so
Kenyan.
you're
From
about to say,
Muranga.
I'm a human being.
Yeah.
So you're from Muranga.
I'm from Muranga.
But your name is
Muranga
just
yesterday.
Lemuel Abishua. I mean, I don't know, Njuguna, Kanjuguna, Mureithi.
Yeah.
What are the common Muranga names, by the way, surnames in Muranga? Ama it's just,
Ndindi Nyoro. Mwatha. No, I mean, there's Daughters of Mumbi.
Okay.
Kina Wambui.
Okay.
I'm from a Kikuyu family from Muranga called the Matigi family.
Okay.
But then through some things, our family name was changed.
All right.
And it's now Abishua.
Abishua. We'll talk about that before. But you have a very interesting story, Lem, because first of all, you are a lawyer.
Yes.
Not just a lawyer, but it's alleged that you got a first-class honors. It's alleged because I haven't seen it. That's why I'm saying it's alleged. I don't know.
Yeah.
So is it true?
It's true.
Okay.
Top of my class.
Top of your
Rara Law School.
From Rara Law School.
Yeah.
Top of your class. And then you go and do internship in one of the biggest law firms in this country. Mm-hmm. That's Africa Legal Network or something like that.
Yes. Anjawala and Kanye in Kenya.
Yeah,
Part
okay.
of the African Legal Network.
Okay. That was your first internship when you left law school.
When I was in law school, actually.
When in law school. Okay. And then you decide to walk away from all that to get into the murky world of startups. What was going on? Is it what was happening?
Yeah. So I mean, like I think I was in the era of law students.
Okay.
That was influenced by Suits.
Mm.
You know that Suits era.
Yeah. It was a drama. It was a series drama.
Yeah.
A drama.
Actually, yeah. Anyway, let me not get into Suits. But so I mentioned that because I mean there are several reasons why I wanted to pursue a career in law.
Okay.
One was the impact I wanted to drive in my career. It just seemed exciting, like you used to see on Suits. I think I'm so grateful that I got to work at ANK.
Okay.
Because it helped me envision what a career would look like at the highest levels of legal excellence in the country and on the continent.
Yeah.
And my initial intention with exploring the tech space was like, I already know what this pathway looks like. You know, it's very linear also in law.
Yeah.
It's like pupil, associate, senior associate, partner. Yeah. And I was like, okay, before I commit to this, I think our generation has like commitment issues.
I can see.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I can see, and it didn't look bad.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey man, like I have to commit to this thing for decades.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me see what else the world has to offer.
Yeah.
And that took me to start with tech.
Okay.
I was interested in the intersection between law and tech. And there were not many spaces to pursue that. But I first did that through my dissertation, and I got to understand more about the tech space. And I was like, okay, let me first just get my foot in the door at a startup that ticks the boxes that ANK ticked. Which is work with smart people.
Yeah.
Work at an ambitious organization.
Yeah.
And just grind. And so I was fortunate to join a startup that ticked all those boxes.
Okay. Wow. Just grind. So tell me more about then what you developed, to sort of the product that you've worked on, or where you've worked.
Yeah. So I've worked in the tech space for now more than 7 years.
More than 7 years, Lem?
7 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most of that time was in product management.
Okay.
It's a generalist but sort of specialist role. Generalist because you sit at the intersection between business, tech, and the customer.
Okay.
Specialist because you're building deep expertise around decision making and how to build a good product.
Okay.
So I got to build and scale products across Africa as a PM at ALX.
Okay.
And ultimate goal was to build a startup myself.
Okay.
I think in the journey, intentionality was important. And there's actually the VP of legal at ALX wanted to poach me to his team. Okay. It's called Pepe. Shout out to Pepe.
Okay.
So I mentioned this because he when I told him no, I told him I want to explore something else. I was like, okay, sit down and help me understand what your career pathway is going to look like 5 years into the future. And so I remember that day we were somewhere here in Ngong Road. We sat down and we mapped out 5 years.
Okay.
And I tell you, Dongo, those things that we wrote down, of course I continued working on that document, but they actually came to pass.
Okay.
So working as a product manager was a pathway to becoming a CEO, a startup, and ultimately to also support other entrepreneurs as an advisor.
Okay. Tell me more about this list. What was on that list?
So I thought part of it would include an MBA. And then I also thought I would spend a little bit more time in becoming a product leader.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what ended up happening is I did work in product.
Yeah.
But I jumped faster skipped the MBA. I did a VC program called Antler.
Okay.
So Antler is like
you want to talk about VC. So imagine that our audience don't know what this buzzwords and acronyms mean. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Venture capital firm.
Okay.
They invest in startups.
Okay.
So their model is unique even in the industry. They focus on recruiting individuals. And so they're like, Odongo, you look smart.
Yeah.
We want to match you with another potential co-founder, get you guys to focus on a big opportunity and ultimately build a unicorn startup.
Yeah.
VCs want to invest in something that has the potential to be a unicorn.
Yeah.
So I got recruited into Antler's program.
Okay.
In making that decision, I was like, okay, why did I want to do an MBA? Ultimately was get an MBA so I can raise money to build my startup.
Yeah.
These guys already want to help me do that.
Yeah.
So I quit my job.
Okay.
I joined Antler.
Okay.
Antler's program is 3 months. I did it. They didn't invest in my startup.
Kilikuramba.
Sema we. Yeah. But I'm grateful I took the risk.
Okay.
I was primed uniquely at that position in my life to do it.
Yeah.
I was young. I'm still young.
Younger then.
I was younger.
You're younger. Yeah.
I was 27.
Yeah.
And I was asking myself, at the time, I didn't have debt.
Okay.
I didn't have
a family. Yeah.
No children.
Okay.
No
non-children.
No non-children. Hata sikuwa na girlfriend.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, those are things that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
But it meant that I was uniquely positioned to spend 16-hour days in the office.
Yeah.
I mean, 16 hours in the office in a day. And
just grind.
Yeah. And I'm grateful that I was able to do it compared to some of the other people I was doing the program with. They had kids. They had to think about paying fees.
Yeah.
So for the ones who didn't get an investment, actually, there's only one team of 2 people in our cohort of 30 that got an investment.
An investment of how much?
$100,000.
$100,000.
Roughly 13 million. By the way, pesa mingi.
Yeah. But it's good money if somebody is investing in you. It can validate your dream and how you look at yourself,
Yes. Yeah. In the industry, if you're raising from pre-seed, there are stages in a startup journey.
Okay.
Starts off with pre-seed.
Okay.
And then there you're looking to, most startups raise between $100,000 to $2 million.
Okay.
So if you're able to get that capital injection, you can, especially if you're building a software company, you can build a meaningful product.
Okay.
And get enough customers to sort of like demonstrate your potential for the next stage. Seed, Series A, and on.
Okay. So you finish this program and then there's not an investment that is put in your idea.
Yeah.
So tell me the emotions that you had during that season.
Yeah, I mean, I was faced with the question of like, why do you want to become an entrepreneur in the first place?
Yeah.
And really, I think it was a helpful inflection point to help me gauge, am I committed to becoming an entrepreneur? Am I really passionate about it? What matters more to me? Is it the money? Is it the mission?
Yeah.
A month after this rejection, I got a job offer.
Yeah.
And it paid me more money than I've ever been paid.
Okay.
And I took it for 2 months.
Okay.
And it confirmed to me that I was not going to go back to becoming an employee.
Yeah.
I really love the problem solving heart that I wear as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And people say once you scratch that itch, it's so hard to.
I like that framing. Once you scratch the itch,
so hard. Yeah. And so I stuck with it. There's this concept of the valley of death that many entrepreneurs have to bypass in their first 1 to 2 years. And that for me was 2024.
So the valley of death. Tell us more about that. That sounds like it sounds like a grim picture of what people go through.
Entrepreneurship is hard.
Yeah.
You're literally giving. Okay, for mothers who are watching.
Yeah.
Don't hate me.
Yeah.
But I think it's like giving birth to a baby.
Yeah.
Because you need to go through, those trimesters.
Yeah.
The first trimester is the most risky one.
Yeah.
And I think there's a seed that's taking root. You need to articulate a vision. You need to sell that vision to people.
Yeah.
And so you need to care for it. You need to not give up on it. And I respect any entrepreneur that has gone through that journey and come out the other side and they've stuck with the mission.
Yeah.
And so for me in 2024, I had to do that.
Okay.
Go through seasons without income.
Okay.
Go through seasons where you need to figure out how to sell a product which doesn't even exist. Right? You're trying to make sales.
Yeah.
So that you can chase a 1, 2. Let me make the sale. Then I'll go make the product. Then you make revenue. I had to do the same thing with the investors.
Yeah.
Pitch them ideas of products that didn't exist.
Yeah.
But that's part of the journey of being an African entrepreneur.
But then when I met you, when I met you, I think I met you in that season.
Yes.
Nobody could tell that you're actually going through a valley of death as an entrepreneur because your social media was always lit. When we met, you were confident riding your bike and things seemed quite rosy. Is it part of an entrepreneur's need to, be in charge and stay composed, even if the world is falling apart around them?
Yeah. I'll say, one, I am naturally, let me give the glory to God.
Okay.
But he's given me an affinity to be wildly optimistic.
Okay. I like that. Wildly optimistic. Yeah.
Even when the house is burning.
Yeah.
I'll be like, tuko sawa. I think that affinity is important for an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can build it, but having it as a natural gifting is helpful.
Yeah.
And I have that. And God has also nurtured it in me. You know that I am a biker.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, last year, I remember there's moments I had on the road, crazy moments, with mechanical issues with my bike.
Yeah.
And I had to figure out, you remember that TV show MacGyver?
Yeah.
There are many times I had to be MacGyver on the road.
Yeah.
And I kept asking myself, on the side of Wakiwe, on the side of Kiwa on Gong Road, I'm like, God, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, what war are you preparing me for?
Yeah.
And I think that war is entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Fighting those battles every day. There are fires you need to put out. And I think when you build that muscle of problem solving, when there's pressure from customers, from partners, everything is looking like it's going wrong, I think it's going to be better for you as an entrepreneur.
Let me not do a lot of mental health work. And part of the conversation we've had with entrepreneurs is how they struggle with their mental health, you know. What are your coping mechanisms, that valley of death of that season?
It's a great question.
Okay.
Community.
Okay.
I think as men, the way we navigate community is interesting. I think, like you're saying, maybe you might not have known that there's a valley of death.
Yeah, going on. Yeah.
Getting as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But I think just being community.
Okay.
You know, I think the enemy likes to isolate us.
Okay.
And so when you're plugged into community, it allows you to, just have some sense of peace planted in your life from the people around you.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, gym.
Okay.
I think what causes the instability, the mental health instability for an entrepreneur is there are things that are out of my control.
Yeah.
What I can control is how much I'm going to bench press at the gym. You understand?
Oh my goodness. So, I thought you were going to say something profound, but that's a profound thing to say.
That's what you can control.
Yeah.
And
it's within you to decide, how much weight you're going to bench press.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go do that at the gym. And I think you just need an outlet.
Yeah.
And the gym really provides for me a great outlet.
Yeah.
To stress. And I think when you don't have that as a man, your body will decide what the outlet will be. So I want to acknowledge early last year, I decided to quit drinking.
Okay.
And I think before, I sort of like switched. I took out the drinking, went intense with the gym.
Yeah.
And I think naturally my body, my mind would have used drinking as an outlet.
Okay.
And so I think being able to sort of intentionally choose good habits that you can't go wrong with. I mean, there are times when the people around me be like, you're doing it too much. But I mean, what's worse? Overdoing pombe, overdoing my bench press. So I choose your hard. Me, I chose the gym.
Oh my goodness. Lem, it's God and gains. It's God. God and gains.
God and gains and glory.
God and gains and glory. I like that. Oh my goodness. But tell me about this alcohol thing, what do you think, at what moment did you feel like there was a need to change it from drinking as something that you cope with and then going to the gym? But also what I like about your perspective is that anytime people are asked about their coping mechanisms, they always think about the negative thing. But I like that you've said that actually community, because coping is both positive, can both be positive and both negative. And I like that. I think I can see the eternal optimist in you in that. Tell me about this phase of drinking.
Yeah. So I am an extrovert.
Okay.
And so I like to be in community.
Yeah.
And I noticed a trend. Whenever I was in community, I liked using alcohol as a crutch to socialize. And this is a trend I noticed over time.
Yeah.
I think if someone sort of sat me down and told me you need to stop drinking, like in my early 20s, actually, my relationship with alcohol has been interesting.
Okay.
So I had my first step maybe when I was like a teenager.
Okay.
I joined the worship team at my church when I was 16.
Okay.
We signed a declaration. We committed to not drinking.
Okay.
So I didn't drink again until I was in campus.
Okay.
I think like 2021.
Okay.
And then I think I had an unhealthy relationship with it, where I would use it initially as a coping mechanism around the time when I was hey, job search is hard in Kenya.
Okay.
And I remember those weeks, it took me even with my first class.
Okay.
Maybe this is not really long, but to me it felt long.
Okay.
It took me 6 months from graduation
to
get my first job.
Okay.
Well, the first job I wanted. There are certain things ilisema staki. So, I mean, I'll acknowledge my privilege.
Oh my goodness.
There are people, it takes 6 years. For me, that 6 months felt like a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I remember like, hey, after weekends of, just applying, hey man, I need to blow off some steam over the weekend. And then later on...
But if you're looking for a job, how are you affording to blow steam? How are you affording to blow steam?
No, in Nairobi you have to hustle. So, so there are gigs that I would do like on Upwork.
Okay.
I would write academic papers for...
You were part of that.
I was extending the first class. I must have 3 first classes.
Donating the gift.
I don't condone. Condone it, but that's what you need to do to survive in Nairobi, and so that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, there's someone who told me in school, you write really good essays. I have a job for you.
Yeah.
And that's what paid my rent for a few months.
Okay. Let's go back to the alcohol problem, Oh my goodness. Yeah. Then now you realize that you're using it to blow off steam. Yeah.
And then I think later on, outside of like now navigating a struggle, it was more of like, how am I using it to navigate my social life? Not necessarily from a place of a problem, but even when I'm looking to just hang out with friends, right? I feel like I want to take some shots or whatever. And so I think going into 2024, I mean, there's the issue of using it as a crutch, but also I noticed that as an entrepreneur, I have a gifting of articulating a vision. Maybe that's also like something that I built as a product manager.
Okay.
But I mention it because I would spend time coming up with all these ideas of things I wish I would do. And I felt like time was passing me by. And I had the time to do all those things. I was just wasting away my weekends, wasting away a lot of free time, largely due to alcohol.
Okay.
And so going into the new year, 2024, I was like, I want to take charge of my life, my destiny. I want to stop using this thing as a social crutch. And there are things I want to take out of my life, and there are things that I want to introduce.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of negative branding around things like New Year's resolutions. But I think it's helpful to hit reset with the rhythms like that. It's a new year, new me. I decided I'm going to stick with this new parts of my identity. And I stuck with it. And it's helped me. I've been able to do things as an entrepreneur now that would not be possible if I was still drinking.
Okay. I like that, Lem, because I think we don't often talk about, there's only one way we talk about dealing with negative coping mechanisms. So, it's rehab or stuff like that. But I think also sometimes when you build alternative habits, it can be a great way to help you deal with some of those negative habits that you deal with, And so, Lem, man, this is such, I'm really, really enjoying this conversation, and thank you for agreeing to come on set, And so it almost sounds like entrepreneurship, or how you're making it sounds like a very rosy affair. Like it's a nice thing. I turned down a well-paying job. I dropped my first class law degree. That now perhaps you'd be like one of the leading litigation lawyers in this country. Of course, I know you love commercial law, so maybe you'd be probably, proper, dealing with the transactions spanning continents. Like you're advising here, and then you'd be bagging a lot of money. So would it be fair to say that you just chose your hard? And the hard is entrepreneurship. There are people who choose the hard of employment, and it's okay.
Yes. And I think it's important to be practical as you choose it.
Okay.
And so, for example, one of the measures of your success in career would be income.
Yeah.
And one of the things I would still do intentionally is track the income that I would be making as an employee versus an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Or an employee versus this new pathway that I chose in tech. And there are years when the new pathway I chose was better.
Okay.
There are years when the pathway I chose was worse.
Okay.
But also there's a new generation in the workplace now. And I think I'm part of it. I'm a zillennial.
Okay.
And so this new generation cares more.
Let me be a millennial. You're not a zillennial.
So there's actually a Nation newspaper article that someone interviewed me as a Gen Z.
Okay.
And then there's other people that say I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
So let me call myself in the middle. So this new generation cares about fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I subscribe to that as well. I think for me it's more important to have a fulfilling career.
Yeah.
I mean, practically speaking, being able to take care of like your basic necessities is important.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, I think fulfillment matters. And so I think being an entrepreneur will give you way more fulfillment.
If that's what you're wired to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because also being an entrepreneur is not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, exactly.
There are people who like being told what to do.
Exactly. And structure and order and knowing at the end of the month they're getting a pay slip, and it's okay because we're all wired very differently. Because I think the era we grew up in, especially when Kibaki became president, was this idea that all of us need to be business people. So you had people who are, risking their great jobs to have side hustles. Yet we could have just been told that by this, stick to this job and do it and grow through the ranks, and you can get the financial security that you get. I think in my era, jobs were really bastardized, and the people who stayed back and worked survived. But majority of us decided, you know what? By the I hosted a gentleman called Chomba Njoka, who talks about the crisis with the millennial men, and he says because the millennial men became sort of like adults just when Kibaki was taking over power. And they just saw a glimpse of Moi. You don't even know. You didn't see Moi at all? No?
Briefly.
Not
that I can remember.
Yes, but some of us grew and we saw how Moi's end of rule was really terrible. The bad roads, River Road was, you couldn't go to River Road, by the way. River Road was like a no-go zone. People were defecating in the city of Nairobi openly. It was just a normal thing, There were no cabros. Electricity used to be rationed.
What?
I didn't... Oh my goodness.
Mulirambo?
Vibaya sana. One thing I remember
as we'd protest.
When we used to Are you saying that we accepted that nonsense?
And I sat in constitutional law classes.
Yeah.
I used to, so I grew up in, I went to American school, so I didn't learn about Kenyan history.
Okay.
In high school, middle school. And so when I sat in constitutional law classes, the first time I heard about some of the things that happened in Kenya's history.
Yeah.
And I went home and asked them, how did you guys let this happen? Of course, I acknowledge.
I can't imagine. No, what did she say?
It's like you don't know Moi.
Yeah.
Of course, I have to acknowledge things are different now.
Yeah.
We live in a generation where, crazy things happening to you can go live stream.
Yeah.
The way we share information has been democratized.
True.
And so it's different. But I remember sitting in those classes and being like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you people? How did you accept it for so long? 24 years. You couldn't protest. You couldn't say an end to this nonsense. Oh my goodness. But my point is this. When we used to travel from Kisumu, we'd travel by there's tarmac, then there's this, the roadside. We'd travel the roadside almost half of that road. The tarmac was so bad that you'd rather drive by the road from Kisumu about 350 kilometers to Nairobi. So by the time you arrive in Nairobi, you used to arrive and go to Machakos Country Bus, where there were just this really terrible men who'd come and grab things from you, and then you'd have this layer of hair, of dust on your hair. So someone would think that, you guys lawyers wear wigs. As we used to wear a wig of sand. You've traveled from Kisumu. You arrive in this city. your eyelids are so heavy with dust, you have to close them. You know. And then you go to Dandora. Dandora, by the way, you pass this roundabout where, you know, there were two gangs. Kamjesh was the gang that used to rule phase 3 and downwards. Then Mungiki phase 2 coming up. And, you know, you navigate all these things. And then Kibaki came in. And then he first gave charters to many universities. So people started going to the university. And then, you know, the economy started growing. So from a 0% GDP growth rate to almost 8%. Before post-election violence of 2007. And system just started working, and we started seeing bypasses, that there was something called a bypass. You know, you Gen Zs grew up with bypass. There was no southern bypass before Kibaki. There was no eastern bypass before Kibaki. Kibaki did thousands of kilometers of roads just within a very period of time. And the country really grew. And I think when people talk about Kibaki, that's the nostalgia we have, you know. And then now the two brothers took over, and then now the millennial dream was sort of like, you know, shut up, because that's when we started getting into debt. Devolution came, and for every penny that we collected, almost 60% of it was paid into debt, you know. So my point is this, that there's a very difference between millennial men and, I think, Gen Zs. So for you, do you see that difference, or you don't think there's a difference?
I think there's.
How do you see it?
There's a big difference, and one of the things there is also, I think, the social contract we had with millennials and previous generations,
the Gen X and before,
has shifted. Which was, you go to school, you get good grades, afterwards you get a
job. Yeah,
that's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
And I think,
so now what's the contract you guys have now? How is it looking like?
Well, people graduate from school even with a first class. And again, I'll acknowledge my privilege. The 6 months may not be that long. And right now it takes more than 6 years for a graduate to get. Imagine that.
Looking for a job is a full-time job for me. I should not be laughing, but we should write that on our experience. I looked for a job for 2 years. That's actually an experience you're gaining. Patience, you know, goodwill, you know. So when you ask a young graduate who's been looking for a job for 6 years, you need to factor in the experience of looking for a job. Yeah, that should be put there.
Humility.
Yeah. How to access restrooms and clean dust on your trouser, you know, and wipe your armpits because you've sweated so much.
And you do it back to back.
Back to back,
it's dehumanizing.
Oh my goodness.
And then you get this first job, and you're also having to navigate toxic workplaces.
Yeah. What is this about Gen Zs and toxic workplaces? Just being told to come on time is now toxic enough for you to walk out and walk away.
I think I have a team of now 12 people.
Yeah.
And majority of my team are Gen Z.
Okay.
And I think Gen Z are just more, you're the firstborn.
Yeah.
You see the way lastborns talk to your parents.
Yeah.
Could you talk to your parents the same way?
I'm not the firstborn though, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
So I'm the firstborn son.
Okay.
I have a younger brother.
Okay.
And the way he talks to my mom.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
You can't relate.
Communicating with her like that.
You'd have been dispatched to your maker.
And I think what's changed is my mom is more open to engaging and saying, this is a rational guy, and what he's saying on a point.
And generally they are older. The older you grow, the more you mellow, you know. If you get a child at 24 and you get a child at 34, it's a massive difference in parenting. Yeah.
So I think that lastborn kind of like approach to navigating leadership is the way Gen Z navigates bosses in the workplace.
Yeah.
So it's not about necessarily them being reprimanded for showing up to work on time. I think it's more of they're willing to question, not authority, but like just raise questions about how things are done, why they're done a certain way.
Yeah.
And I think historically, the way we navigated authority was you never question the authority.
True.
And I think we want these young people to be the best versions of themselves in the workplace, but we're not creating a space for them to ask simple questions. No, I think for me, my role as a CEO is to help realize the potential of my organization
Yeah.
and the people in it.
Yeah.
And so that means I need to let them ask questions. I need to let them consistently, just push the norm so that
Yeah.
you can do things better, to do them differently.
And in fact, I think many people usually are afraid of that because status quo serves a very small minority. So as long as we are the ones who are in control of the conveyor belt of this system that produces sometimes mediocrity, it's fine because then I'm protected by this system. And so when a young person comes to the workplace and says, why should I come to work at 8? Why not at 10? Why should it be 8 to 5? Why should I wait for an end of year review? Why can't we do it monthly? Why can't we think about this thing in a way that then makes us all happy? But then people who are custodians of the system know how to capture it so that it serves their interest. And we see it even in our government, when we see young blood coming up, they are often crushed because then if we change the rules, then the rules will not favor, these few oligarchs who then hold on to the political landscape. But then, Lem, something big happened recently, and you, of course, you invited us for a farewell party. Maybe you can tell our audience about it.
Yeah, so I've been privileged this year to have God expand my territories.
Okay, I like that.
I spent a bit of time doing business in Morocco.
Okay.
And I'm going to continue doing that.
Okay.
So I'll be spending time in a small town in Morocco called Ben Gurir, building one of my startups.
Okay.
So I run 3 organizations.
Okay.
One of them is called Africa Product Peers.
Okay.
We support professionals, including through helping them get jobs.
Okay.
The other organization is called Faith Foundry.
Okay.
It's a Christian tech nonprofit.
Okay.
We're building the Jesus tech ecosystem in Africa.
Okay. Hey, the Jesus tech ecosystem in Africa. Yes. Okay.
So I'll be spending most of my time in Morocco building APP, Africa Product Peers.
Okay.
And so the mission we're exploring is how do we help Africa's talent unlock job opportunities using AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds brief, but you mind unpacking it for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when you look at the journey to getting a job, we've mapped it out to include understanding your career vision, preparing high quality application materials, applying to a high volume of opportunities, and then doing interviews and assessments, ultimately getting an offer.
Yeah.
One of the main use cases, AI right now, is as a counselor. So people are already in you saw, I'm sure last week, that Kenya is the #1 global user of ChatGPT in the world. And so one of the main ways that I'm sure even young people in Kenya are using AI is understanding how to navigate their career strategy.
Yeah.
And so going deeper in that, helping people understand, like in my journey, what are the different potential pathways? What are the skills that you have that position you for these different pathways? What are the skills you can build that position you for other pathways? That's #1. #2, preparing high quality application materials.
Okay.
This is something many people still struggle with. Typical application for a job will have a CV and a cover letter.
Yeah.
Getting a high quality version 1 is important.
Yeah.
But also figuring out how to personalize it for each application.
Okay.
AI can drastically improve the quality and your ability to do that quickly multiple times.
Okay.
And then third and probably most important, volume of applications.
Yeah.
Venture a guess.
Okay.
How many jobs do you think you need to apply to get one job offer?
So statistically, so usually there's a 10%, a 10% chance, what we call conversion rate. So in marketing, that's what we are taught, that if you knock 10 doors, you have one conversion. Yeah.
I love that you've used that analogy.
Yeah.
But it's actually way more in jobs.
Okay.
So in America's job market, which is way better than Kenya's and Africa's at large, you need to apply to 500 jobs
to get
one job offer.
My goodness. 500 jobs to get one job offer.
500 jobs to get.
How about now Kenya?
Way worse. That's the data we're looking into now. But we usually communicate to graduates. Basically, like you've used the marketing analogy.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged because you sent out 10 applications and you get 10 we regret emails.
Yeah.
just know you haven't applied to enough jobs. It's conversion rate, right? So for you as a candidate, you need to increase your chances by thinking of it as a numbers game.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a job within 3 months, you need to, in month 1, apply to over 500 jobs so that you can increase your chances of getting an interview. and you haven't even gotten into the job yet.
Yeah.
Right? Get more interviews, then you're more likely to convert a job offer.
That's why I've always believed that I don't apply for jobs. By the way, as a personal rule, I don't apply to jobs that I don't know.
Wow.
An opportunity. I mean, at just a random blind application, I don't do that. I've never gotten all the jobs I've gotten. I got through relationship. That's my primary rule, and it dramatically cut my anxiety, my worry, and my self-esteem. Really, I mean, this idea that I will apply 500 then get one interview, and maybe I'm speaking like this because I have a bit of experience and I've built my network. I'm thinking about somebody who's 19 getting into the job market. Then they need to do that, and they have the time and the energy, and they still need their self-esteem beaten a bit, panel bit kidogo for them to fit. Yeah. But for me, at this level, I don't do that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think when you get to a certain point in your career, then it branches off from volume to high leverage.
I like that. And I think that's what we need to tell young people, that they need to think more about leverage than about just, for example, I think you'd rather just walk into an office space or get into a networking place, network with somebody who makes a decision about jobs, and they'll tell you, by the way, there's a job here. Because then even for employers, I can imagine, as somebody who also runs a non-profit, that I would rather employ somebody I know than somebody I don't know, because then there's a level of trust I've built with them. I somehow know their skill set, so I will not have to be worried, Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And I think I've had a chance to also experience this recruitment process from the other side.
Yeah.
I'm not a recruiter.
Yeah.
But I've had to recruit.
Yeah.
And I don't think recruiting is fun.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
Maybe it's because I'm not a recruiter.
Yeah.
But I know other hiring managers and other founders that share this sentiment.
Yeah.
That because our unemployment rate in Africa is the worst globally, it's sitting at about 10%.
Yeah.
What that means is I put out a job opportunity. I get, in a matter of days, hundreds of applications.
Yeah.
Then I have to figure out how to filter and shortlist. And a lot of guys also are not very responsive in the process.
True.
So stage 1, we've sent you an assignment. Can you imagine, out of 300 applicants, only maybe like 10 will do the assignment. So I've stopped actually filtering based off qualifications. I don't look at, do you have a degree or do you have this or that? What I focus on is, did you do the work?
Okay.
That's filter number 1.
Yeah.
Because again, if especially I'm hiring for entry-level roles, what I care about is doing the work.
Okay.
That's something that many people fail at.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Yeah.
And then I look at, did they do it well?
Yeah.
Now, if you did the work well, that's a bonus. But I also wouldn't negate the guys who at least did the work.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're coming to me to learn. And I'll teach you how to do the work well. This guy in the process maybe did it better because they had maybe some training around it. They had a natural affinity for it. But if I'm hiring for like an entry-level role and not an expert, if I'm hiring an expert, then the filter is doing the work well. But if it's early career, if you're just finished campus and this is your first job, just do the work.
I like that. So, but we are not, I think because I understand what, the Moroccan government is doing, perhaps you can just explain to us what they've done.
Yeah, so Morocco is a massive market in North Africa.
Okay.
But it's also ambitious.
Okay.
They have a government goal to have 3 unicorns by 2030.
3 unicorns?
Unicorns.
I mean, what constitutes, how do you qualify to be a unicorn?
So a unicorn is a startup.
Okay.
That is valued at $1 billion.
At $1 billion. They want to have 3 of those.
Yes. And to have a valuation of $1 billion.
Yeah.
Making $100 million in annual recurring revenue.
In annual recurring revenue. And they want to have 3 of those between now and 2030.
Yes.
We're talking about 5 years. So what have they done in Morocco now?
So the wamefungua server, they're opening up.
They've opened up.
they're opening up their market. There are drastic policy changes.
Okay.
To invite other entrepreneurs from the continent to do business in Morocco. Like myself. And so I'm going to be spending a big chunk of my time over the next year, partnering with other businesses in Morocco, doing business in Morocco, and also bringing some of that to Kenya.
And you're telling me that the recruitment, they got some of the best brains from the continent and they're taking them to Morocco.
Yes.
And they've put infrastructure, policy change to achieve that.
And funding.
Yes. We're talking about how much money?
A lot of money.
How much have they poured in this entire process?
Millions of dollars.
So it's not just like kusema tu ni kusema na kutenda. They've selected... is it a version of our Konza City or what?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
So the organization that's running this initiative is called UM6P, University of Mohammed VI Polytechnic. It's actually named after the king. The king. I'll tell you a brief story. He built this campus for his son. His son just, I think, finished college. Before he joined, he was intentional about, this is a story I was being told by other people in Morocco. He was intentional that he wanted his son to know, the typical journey for royals is go to an Ivy League. And he was like, no, I want him to study in the country. And I want to bring that educational value
right here in this country.
Here at home. And so UM6P is this beautiful campus in Morocco. It's in a smaller town, which is essentially like the vision for Konza City. It's not, he didn't take it, the capital is Rabat. He didn't take it to Rabat. He's like, I'm gonna grow this.
How many kilometers away from Rabat?
It's about, I don't know how in KM, but it's about 5 hours by train.
5 hours by train. And it's a fast speed train. Or just
no.
An SGR level train.
It's better than SGR.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a really powerful story that he was committed. Like this value will come to the country. And UM6P has continued with that culture of ambition for the country. And so
for the country, not for the king, for the country. I love that.
And I have to acknowledge when I spent time in Morocco and I heard the way a lot of other people in Morocco talked about the king, I really admire the way they speak about him in high regard. Not just because it's a monarchy, but because they see what he's done for the country. And I think it's given that mandate to organizations in a powerful way. And so they're running initiatives like this, bringing. I'm going to be going to spend time there alongside some incredible founders. One of them is a gentleman who was a country director for a company called Andela.
I know Andela.
And several other founders from across Africa, from South Africa, from Nigeria, from other countries in North Africa as well. And so I'm privileged to be joining such an incredible community. I thank God for it. I look forward to representing Kenya and coming back also with as a window to North Africa. I think as entrepreneurs, our goal is to do business and to do it in big markets. Kenya is a big market, but also there are more startup founders that are looking to sell their products and services in North Africa, in Europe, in North America.
Oh, Lem, that's incredible. There are many lessons we can learn from that because, oftentimes we have children of African presidents being shipped abroad where systems work. And then, of course, we often don't see the correlation between those decisions and brain drain and how our communities, suffer. And I think if to have a king who thinks about the people and then putting in all this money, because I think if they have 3 unicorns in Morocco, think about the ripple effect of that in the economy, employment rate, and just how it can definitely change the landscape of that country. That's incredible, And I hope that we learn a thing or two from that. Then we're coming to an end of this. And of course, I need you to have your final words and your final comment. How do we connect with you? But of course, speak to younger men, not young men, younger men.
Yeah, I would say it all starts with God.
Okay.
In seeing the way the things have shaped up in my life, in my career.
Yeah.
It was not by my hand, it was by God's.
Okay.
And so it was not through my own strategic wisdom that I transitioned from becoming a lawyer to becoming a funded and well-supported and accomplished startup founder in Africa's tech ecosystem.
I love that. Africa's tech ecosystem, not Kenyan tech ecosystem, Africa. I love that continental view you have, yeah.
It's through God.
It's through God, okay.
And because of that, I'm also taking up, one of the crosses I've chosen to bear is to build this Christian tech ecosystem in Africa. I'm really passionate about it. So I think when you talk about the problems of the continent, we often miss out on two big ones. One is discipleship.
Yeah.
Africa has 720 million Christians. And we need to be discipled, myself included.
I like that. Being
a good disciple of Christ is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
The road is straight and narrow, but it's hard to navigate it.
Okay.
And leveraging tech is a big part of what we need to do to conquer that space.
Okay.
Kenya is one of the biggest TikTok users in the world.
Okay.
When you go on TikTok, that thing just, one, consumes your time and has a lot of vitriol.
Yeah.
And we need, as Christians, as the church community, we need to think about how we're going to leverage TikTok for the kingdom.
Okay.
2, evangelism.
Okay.
I'm going to be going to a country where it's 99.7% Muslim. And it's going to be really incredible for me to learn about what does it look like to spread the gospel in a nation that is not predominantly Christian. Kenya is 86% Christian. At least we say we are.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a unique experience. I'm going to miss consistently being plugged into church communities.
Yeah.
But it's also going to help me empathize what it looks like to evangelize in a space where there are not as many churches. And that's an important problem for us to solve on the continent as tech founders, as leaders in different spheres.
Yeah.
And so I'm passionate about it, and I'd encourage other young men, explore these spaces where you are.
Okay.
Disciple at home. You are the priest of your home. Disciple the people around you.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to pick up the gospel and share it to the other people around you who don't know the truth of the gospel.
Okay.
That's my parting shot.
How do you connect with you, Lem? Come
follow me on LinkedIn, Lemuel Abishua, Instagram, Lemuel_Abishua.
Okay.
And I think I also have a TikTok. I have a team that sets up new social media channels for me every week. Okay. So I think I have a TikTok, Lemuel Abishua.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was Manspeqtive Africa with the one and only Lemuel Abishua. Hopefully you've gained some insights. And of course, it's been an incredible conversation. The hashtag, as always, is Manspeqtive Africa. If you're watching us on KTN, we're on YouTube. And the channel is Manspeqtive. It has a Q. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're on KTN every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. God has favored us to get a prime slot. Watch, interact with the content. And as I always say, of course, adios and may God bless you.